Okay, here we are back with game 3 with our Mono-Black Aggro list. I would like to play first. Make go. I would like to play first. I do have a 1-drop, but I do think this has to get sent back. This is a much better hand to keep a 1-lander on, plus the scry gets me a swamp. Definitely putting that on top. I am going to cast my Duress turn 2, cast my Carnifage turn 1. Just try to get in for damage when I can. I don't have a 2-drop, that's why I'm happier to play Duress turn 2. Also, I can double Duress if it's strictly necessary. And there's his Delver though, so I'm probably just going to Chainer's Edict that instead of casting a Duress. So Delver is an okay matchup game 1. I can get worn down, but he does not have very many creatures, so it is possible for me to just kill everything that he has and then win. No blocks, swamp, Chainer's Edict. And just a sec. Sorry for the cut. Little brother had to talk to me for a second. So we take him down to 18, and he conceded. Is he gonna concede from the match here real quick? If he doesn't, then I bring in the Deadweight and the rest of the Duress. If he does, I don't post this to YouTube. We take out all 4 Sangorphage. Either way, we take out all 4 Sangorphage. He's still here, apparently. Wonder what that concession was all about. This is Mull. I'm not going to take this against, Delver. This is much better. But I am going to send this land to the bottom. And there's a land Delver. Basically, the dream with Delver is turn 1 Delver. So, hit him up with this white border Duress. It's just like Duress, except slightly more disrespectful. So he's got a Preordain, a Divination, and a Gush. I think I take the Preordain, actually. I don't want him digging for answers. I could take the Gush too, but I don't know. Probably should have taken the Gush, honestly. Doesn't matter though. Well, it probably does actually, but it's whatever. Does he blind flip Delver? No. Cool, I can take 1/1 beats for 20 turns. That's a Bone Splitter. So this is Mono-Blue Aggro, apparently. So when I looked at his hand, I did not see any counterspells, though. So, sadly, I will be victim of knighting the Delver. So, this is interesting. I might just post this game to YouTube and not the first one. Or I might post the first one. Whatever. It doesn't matter. What's his 2-mana play? I didn't see one in hand. It's just a Gush. Floating 2. Going up to 3 to cast his Divination. Draw 6 cards and draw 4 cards and pick up a land. It seems iffy. Stormbound Geist. Sure. Stormbound Geist is actually bad. The Undying does make it a lot harder for me to deal with. There's a Marshmist Titan. So that Stormbound Geist is going to start getting in for 5. And if I kill it, it's going to start getting in for more. So I may as well hold up my removal until I draw a second removal spell for the Stormbound Geist, so that I can 2-for-1 myself. Whatever. That's not... That thing's a problem. Surprised he didn't equip up. That does mean that he has another creature? No. He's holding up counter magic, I guess? Well, I'll just run out Phyrexian Broodlings. I don't know if this warrants a counterspell. Okay, according to this guy, Phyrexian Broodlings warrants a counterspell. Why is all the best counter magic in this format? Like, you can run better counterspell suites in Pauper than you can in Modern, and it's weird. There's a Preordain. So he's gonna go digging. If he had a Delver, it would be flipped. And he equips up the Stormbound Geist. Gets in for 4 in the air. I'm gonna run this thing out just because it's annoying. And then I think I'm going to kill the Stormbound Geist when he goes to attack next turn, because I don't want to. I can take off a turn of damage, and I can possibly draw into more removal. Hopefully he doesn't just have a counterspell for this. That could be Curtains if he did. We'll see though. Okay, so he just lets it go. That's good, I guess. I mean, takes a turn off of the beats, but it does put him up to 5 damage in the air. And there's the Delver. That does make my sacrifice-based removal much worse. So I'm basically just praying for another Victim of Night at this point. Well, then, cast it and pray. Wow, he did not have the second counterspell. I was sure he did. Well, this is fine. I get in for 2. And now I am on the pray he doesn't flip Delver plan. So, that's a thing. He did scry a few turns ago, so he probably, if he saw a spell, it's there. I should check the log, but I really don't feel like it, and I couldn't block if he flipped it anyway. And I would attack if he couldn't flip it, so whatever. And that is a Spell Stutter Sprite for no value. That does signal that he has another Spell Stutter Sprite in hand. It is Converted Mana Cost X or less. Okay. Well, this is fine. All my stuff costs more than 2 right now. He's holding it for my removal spells, though, which sadly do all fall at the 2 mana slot. I will be able to bring in Dead Weight against this guy pretty safely. I don't think there's a lot in his deck that it doesn't hit. I don't think this is the matchup for Shrivel, though. That is a Spire Golem. Spire Golem is very bad for me. Takes 6. Jeez. Not 6. I'll be taking 6. Spire Golem is very bad for me, though, because it does wall a lot of my stuff very efficiently. So, Swamp. I could go Grey Merchant for 4, or I could just cast my Marshmist Titan on 5 mana. Then next turn I can Grey Merchant him for 5 if he doesn't do anything about it. This will at least let me block the Grounded Delver. I don't know. This is looking pretty grim, not gonna lie. No attacks. Not through that Spire Golem. We'll see, we'll see. Is he gonna flip? Yep. That's about when he should flip. And a counterspell, jeez. Well, he will have the counterspell open for my Grey Merchant next turn, so that's bad, but it's okay because I'm dead this turn anyway. So going into the sideboard, that was a beating after that game 1 concession. Here I was feeling confident. Well, I guess I will take in the 2 complete disregards as they do hit a lot of his creatures. And I think I'll be taking out the Marsh Mist Titans, as they really don't do a lot in this matchup. He has so many flyers, they just don't block that. The good thing about Complete Disregard is it does hit through the 2-mana counter version of Spellstunner's Right. I'm gonna get greedy and try to keep this. I feel like I'm gonna get punished, but you know what? I don't care. I'm on YouTube. I may as well go for it. Swamp. Carnophage. Turn. This hand is so good if I just draw that land. Ponder. Yep. So that better counterspell suite is, of course, complemented by the better cantrip suite. Because not only do you have you don't have Serum Visions, but you do have Ponder and Preordain. So, I am gonna pay my 1 life. There's that second swamp. Greed. Remember, greed always gets rewarded in this game. So be as greedy as you can all the time. And cast Oathi Slayer. So, the beats are gonna start coming in. We'll see what he does about it. See, this game 3, this is really where that game 1 concession comes back to bite you. Like, people don't think about this very much, but if you concede in game 1, you only have to lose 1 more game. So that's something to think about. Get in for 4. I'm gonna just try to run out another Oathi Slayer. I mean, he's going to counter it most likely, but yep. I'd rather get the counterspell out of his hand on a bad creature than on a crucial removal spell later. There's the Ponder. One interaction in here that I really don't like is that when I go to Chittering Rats him, he can put a spell on top of his library to flip his Delver of Secrets. And that's... It feels bad when that happens. I'm not gonna lie. And there's a Complete Disregard, so when I draw my next land, I will be set to super kill his things rather than just kill them. This brings him down to 10. And I'll cast this Carnophage. We'll see if he even bothers to counter it. Note this one is shiny, which makes it harder to counter, but he goes for it anyway. Brash play by our opponent. So, there is the Stormbound Geist. Little does he know that if I draw a swamp, he is going to get destroyed by this Complete Disregard. What? Secretly, it was in there for Undying. I said it was in there for Dredge creatures, but it was in there for Undying this whole time. So, I'm unhappy with my clock. I wish it could be a 1-turn clock, but I think I'm gonna win this game. He would have needed a creature this turn, I think, to win. I do not think his deck has a ton of answers on the board. So, I'll get in for 4. What do you got, opponent? A Vapor Snag. Ouch. Hit him for 2. So, even though I said I really didn't like the interaction between Chittering Rats and Delver of Secrets, I'm pretty happy for this Chittering Rats now, because it guarantees that he won't have an answer if he does not have a counterspell right now. And he does have the Mana Leak. Cannot pay 3, so I will pass my turn. Interesting to note, next turn, I will have... So I have the win in hand as long as he does not have counterspells. But his deck almost definitely has a counterspell here. If I draw another piece of removal, I will have the win almost for sure. Another swamp is also nice because it means I have Grey Merchant of Asphodel to try and grind out the win. Honestly, if he doesn't have an answer for the Doothie Slayer, I also win. So, there are a lot of ways I can win this game. And he lets it through. So is this the Vapor Snag, or do I just win? Vapor Snag. Okay, I should have gone Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Well, he could have Vapor Snagged my Doothie Slayer either way and not died. But it's okay. Oh, Vapor Snag number 2. That's interesting. Well, he is on 4 life and has 1 card in hand, and I am on 11 life with 3 creatures in hand, so I'm still pretty happy with how I'm doing this game, even through double Vapor Snag. And there's another Grey Merchant of Asphodel. So, Cornophage. Probably should have run out the Doothie Slayer first, and I get punished by a Spell Stutter Sprite, which will stop me from casting my Cornophage. Luckily for me, I have this Doothie Slayer, and he has to draw a counterspell this turn or he loses. Gets in for 1. I'm not even going to worry about whether or not he has a Vapor Snag or counterspell in hand, because I have 2 Grey Merchants instead of just 1. So, does he have the nuts? In blue, the nuts is a counterspell now. Redefining terms here. And I get in for 2. So he's got to have. He's got to draw a Vapor Snag and a counterspell this turn. So unless this is a draw spell right here, yeah, there we go. GG opponent. GG. That's game 3. See you in game 4.